I kind of want to start
What?
with us humming like the Dark Knight theme or something like that, or like the Batman theme.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah,
So it's
but
just gonna be that's all it's gonna be. Two notes.
what? Oh yeah, I can't even remember at this point. That's crazy. How did the Dark Knight theme go?
It was just like dunna 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 dunna
Dun, 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 dun. That's the one. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, that's Tim Burton.
Batman, use throat cancer.
Boom.
All right, welcome to Delusional Losers. I'm Stokes. Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's up? I'm Corey.
Like step in. I can't barely hear you. You need to step into the mic.
Oh, what?
Get
It's
situated.
like standing outside the studio.
We practiced this.
All right, let me get back in the studio. Okay, I'm back. All right, hey, what's up, guys? I'm Corey. I
Okay.
take a break. Sorry about that.
And that's all who's of importance in this room right now. Just kidding. There's one more. Alex.
Hi.
Jesus. All right.
Are we introducing ourselves? Okay.
Yeah. What?
I thought you were just going to
No,
introduce
I was
me.
introducing the other Anthony that's in Delusional Losers.
Well, you referred to yourself as Stakes, but still.
I mean, but that's what everybody calls me. Anyway, big week in comic book TV history. We have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. coming back, much to my disdain. You know, I thought all the death threats to Josh Whedon and his family would have stopped this show from getting another season, but you know,
How does a show like this get another season? It's remarkable.
there's some good happens, like somebody nearly avoids getting hit by a truck or something like that.
Yeah.
You say there is a God. This is evidence that there's a devil.
Or this is just like every time something good happens, Karma has to restore the balance, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. gets another season.
Yeah, it's gonna get 12 seasons. 12 seasons in a movie.
Oh fuck.
And we have Gotham, the show nobody really asked for, but we still got. So, yeah.
Even as a diehard like DC fan, I will admit that there was no one who was like, you know what we want to see? A show before Batman where it was just like the police fighting some crime in Gotham.
All right. We'll get back to Gotham. I mean, we've all partially seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. None of us were a big fan of it last season, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
We basically got our name because of our first podcast.
Hey, Court,
Yeah.
you're like 5 feet away from the mic.
Oh, well, okay. All right, I'm back again. Okay, so...
I can still barely hear you.
All right, fuck this. Hold on. Can you hear me now? All right, so basically we came up with a very original title for our first podcast, which is Agents of Shit. You know, very original, but groundbreaking title, and we basically got our name, Delusional Losers, for the first podcast because we didn't like it, and everybody thought we were nuts. Like,
Oh my god, man, this is the best show ever. You just want Iron Man to show up and you have sex with the Hulk.
it was
No, I
like,
just
no.
wanted a good show. Just wanted to
Exactly.
show. I had a funny story. I was supposed to watch the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. premiere, but I saw this really interesting video of a guy getting a cyst removed. And it was a big ass cyst. It was about the size of a baseball. And then there was in the thumbnail, there was a video about like this girl got her ears, like it's like years of earwax being cleaned out of somebody's ear. It was like moldy and shit like that.
Nice.
And I thought to myself, was I supposed to be doing something? And I realized, no, this is going to be infinitely more interesting than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
You know the thing that like I think the nail in the coffin for me when I was like, this is not a show that I really want to watch. It was when Clark Gregg himself came out and he was like if you guys don't see what the bigger picture is and don't like this show, then you're just like you're not even real like geeks. You're just losers, and you're not a real Marvel fan. It was like really like it was when we were getting told by the people in the show that you have to stick this show out to the very end for it to be good. It's like, no, that isn't what a TV show's like. Every episode should be good.
Every episode should be good, goddamn. It doesn't matter if it's a pilot.
You should be called an asshole by Clark Gregg because you didn't watch the entire thing. Like,
If it's a pilot, it should be a good pilot. That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Right.
Maybe that'll come
Yeah.
back later. So we pretty much all hated Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I watched it this new season, the premiere anyway, and it started with the Agent Carter opening, which, okay, if this is how the Agent Carter show is going to be, I'm not interested in the slightest. But as a setup for an episode, not even a little bit, I'm not going to watch it. I love the actress. She's gorgeous. She could have my babies.
Man, that guy who plays, the one in the bowler hat.
Probably not by
the
her
shotgun.
choice.
Yeah. Yes.
The guy in the bowler hat. He was in Band of Brothers. He's come from Band of Brothers, like the most like historically accurate, fantastic like Spielberg piece of film about World War II, to playing a guy in a bowler hat who shoots.
Man, you're talking
Marvel
about
Nazis.
Dennis Dugan.
Yeah, Dugan, that guy. Like this is the decline of his career.
No, it's not.
10 years ago, he was making Band of Brothers. Now he's making like Agent
That was 10
Carter.
years ago?
We must be going on 10 years now. I'm pretty convinced, but this is where he's at now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought it was filmed kind of flat. Well, the introduction was filmed poorly because he just walked up there. Nobody shot any guns. It was like,
Yeah, I was okay.
What was that all about?
Yeah,
Just
I was like,
surrender.
that was a very
What
Agents
the
of S.H.I.E.L.D.
shield?
moment. That was a very
That was-
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. moment.
I'm glad that I wasn't the only one that thought that. I was just like, something about this doesn't seem right.
I'm like,
They
hey,
just opened-
sweetheart, can you shoot that gun? I mean, they've got guns.
Yeah, like you walk in.
They're
and,
willing
you know,
to die.
This is
Yeah.
the last remnant of Hydra, and they all just surrender. All the
Yeah.
guys.
You
None
know
of
what's
them trying to
funny
fight
is
back.
like, also it was filmed kind of shitty because it looked like present day. Like there was no, maybe you might throw a green tint on something or maybe dull it out a little bit. No,
It was. Oh god.
It was. Oh gosh, it was so. That was.
it's
the
funny
funny-
because
the
like
shield was
The
there.
Strain just had an episode that was like set in Nazi Germany, and it's like,
Yeah.
wow, fuck, that did not help this, but. I like what as set up. This is I liked it because it was a very Marvel thing. Like a lot of the references to the Marvel universe had either been kind of stupid, out of place, or overhyped, and I didn't see any advertisement for this. So I thought it was a pretty cool this is a pretty cool nod. I thought, very Marvel thing to do, not just we got fucking what's the black guy from the first season with the fucking
Oh yeah.
with the fucking laser tag fest.
The fuck?
Deathlock, yeah, it's Deathlock, yeah,
Oh, that guy.
yeah. You care about
How
him,
did the
though.
effects? Did they just get a massive production budget for this one? Because the effects for the guy who could turn himself into whatever was at least 10 times better than Deathlock, who was the signature piece of the entire last season.
I don't know, man. It's confusing, but basically, I really like this new episode. Not as much as say another show, but it definitely shows I could watch this consistently. I could watch this. If I miss an episode, I'm not going to go back and watch it. But it was a pretty good opener, I thought.
Right.
I thought the old characters, Sky is a badass now, and it didn't draw attention to it. It was very subtle. She's colder now. Fitzsimmons, one of them has PTSD or something like that, or he's kind of stupid now. I don't get it. Ward is just at a point I was like, hey, where's Ward? I missed him on screen. And you see him, and the guy's actually acting.
Yeah.
It's a whole new cast. It's a whole new cast of the same cast, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because I didn't think I would even the slightest bit, when they said watch this and you'll enjoy it. The reason why I was a bit hesitant because everybody for all the episodes were saying, no, watch
Man,
the
it's
next
getting
one.
better.
It's getting better, and I'm just like, oh.
I was like,
please
how? Are
don't.
they getting shorter? Was the last one 43 minutes and this one
10-minute cereal
minutes?
box special.
Yeah.
Seriously though, it's just I really just didn't want to watch it again.
The only way that this thing could be better is if they remember the capsules, the cyanide capsules from Captain America. If they handed out
God.
those, with the episode, then it'd be really better. Like, this is the best episode ever. Let me
Oh,
die.
let me die, die. But yeah, I mean, I honestly thought I was just gonna, And at first, when I was watching the first 3 minutes, I was like, oh, here we go, here we freaking go. I was like, no, this is not getting any better. But then it was like, as soon as I saw, I mean, after a while, when we saw the actual modern day Agents of Shield stuff, I was like, this is actually pretty cool. And Chloe is not saying that her acting was bad in the first one, but she improved
Yeah.
her
I
acting.
agree. Actually, I was noticing that when she was
Yeah.
talking to Clark Gregg, I was like, you know what, this is generally like a more subtle performance. Fair play to the girl.
Yeah.
Right.
This is much better than the
It's
utter
like-
shite that they were dealing
It's
us out in the
like they just
first
got rid
season.
of all the comic relief, which is great.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's
It
nothing to get a
that's,
relief
That's
from.
what it was.
There's
I
no
was
tension.
thinking to myself, where's the edge coming from? And they weren't trying to be funny.
No,
Even though it was a joke that made me laugh, like that good one laugh, like War was like, I tried to run into the wall. She was like, you should have run faster.
Oh yeah.
And it that the way I delivered it sounded corny, but the way she said it was hilarious. Like I was like, huh.
I don't know if that was meant to be funny or if you just have a really, really dark sense of humor.
the way, because I was expecting something really corny.
Yeah.
You hurt me, Ward. You hurt me.
You hurt me, Ward.
They treat Ward like shit.
Man, they really do.
I was like, damn. I thought it'd be like he'd be on probation or something.
He
No,
never killed anyone, like.
no, he's locked up. It got dark, but not dark like in a bar. This is almost like a new show. Like remember
Yeah, I agree.
last season they were like, this is Agents Uprising. No, it's the same
This
shit.
is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Vice is what this is.
Oh, I love that comparison. I don't say that because I want to stay like this. This is definitely better. This is
Yeah.
more interesting. This is infinitely better. The opportunities for storytelling are much better. More characters.
Looks like they've got a better budget as well, so
Yeah, oh my
thank
God.
for that.
Except the Agent Carter sequence, which looked like
Yeah, that was like filmed in like a fucking paintball song.
I
or
like some of
something.
the stuff they did with that, but overall, literally
like
looked like
the fucking Americans doing German accents, or I don't know. It was rough, but it was a very Marvel introduction. You're right.
So I didn't see the whole episode. I actually might go back and finish it, or
Yeah, we might have to.
even
Yeah,
stuff.
none of it.
This is a partial review, but shit, man, this is actually better. This is what the
Yeah,
second episode.
Fair
should've been.
play to them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's fun. It's funny because like all those people, right, who were saying that, oh man, it got better, first season, right? It's funny because the same people who were saying that, oh, it got better, and the first time saying it got better, they're like, it was all right. I'm like, what? What? I was like, what were you enjoying this whole entire time? I'm just like, whatever.
I mean, it didn't have any real references. I liked it. It didn't have any of those stupid references to the Marvel Cinematic Universe that weren't like essential.
Mhm.
Like it was.
What?
It wasn't like this reminds me that one time Thor came down.
Yeah, they didn't do that either. Thank God
Right.
for that. There was no. Remember that one time in New York?
Yeah,
Because
in
when
New
you have a
York.
TV show, really obvious like references can really bog it down really hard. Espe-
I
Especially,
already know.
it can really just derail things.
Yeah. Just go ahead. I think we already know.
Okay, so we're all in agreement. This is really good. I'm definitely I picked up. I work for the website, and I picked up Gotham instead of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and now I'm regretting it. So we're all.
I don't know if I'll say really good yet, but it's definitely good. It's
Yeah.
definitely a watchable show.
I would definitely, yeah. This is something like before. It was like you said, you have to force yourself. Like, oh Jesus, fucking. Oh, is it Tuesday again? Fuck. Jesus, like I don't have anything to clean up. I think I gotta go watch paint dry. I think I gotta
Man,
go.
all the fucking paint in my room is already dry.
I think I gotta go
So I'm gonna have
write.
to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think I gotta go write my aunt a thank you letter. Oh, she died. Well,
Shit.
still, I'll do it in memory of her.
It's the F house.
I literally said, "Mom, is there anything you need me to do?" All right, but go ahead. Speaking of, let's go ahead and get into the other show that premiered, Gotham.
Yeah.
You know what? I just realized I might have to start watching the new Flash TV show.
Yeah, we should definitely talk about that as well.
Fuck.
That's next week.
Oh fuck.
No, I've seen the like first episode. I think you'll like it.
Let me die.
Let me die.
I like Arrow. Like Arrow has
Yeah.
it has, I think its cheapness is almost like its charm. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think it works for other shows.
It's like a family, isn't it? Arrow, like it revels in itself, you know.
Yeah, it's like this is stupid, but it's like kind of fun. And,
They're
yeah,
always making jokes like when he's like this he's like the vigilante needs a new name, and someone's like, well, you know, he dresses in green and he shoots arrows, maybe like Green Arrow, and then like I think Malcolm Merlin's literally like, no, that's really stupid.
I remember.
And
Oh no,
it's
you
that
told me.
kind of
You know, the first time we met, like on the Marvel Cinematic Universe page, I was like, "Oh man," you were like, "You should watch Arrow, mate," and I was like, "Oh no, man, I don't know, I was not into it." He was like, and this is a precursor to our relationship. He was like,
Yeah.
he told me that exact joke, and I was like, "I don't know, man, that seems a bit obvious." And Alex is like, "Well, Jesus, you're not open to new things, are you?" I was like, "Whoa, man, whoa, sorry."
That was before I realised that we were sort of both mutually assholistic. So
Yeah, it always makes me so mad. People are like, Alex is a nice guy. I'm like, no, he's not.
no, he's not. No, you don't know him.
Yeah, fucking asshole. But I've been going my way not to talk about Gotham.
Yeah.
Once again, Gotham, and I'm just gonna say this. Don't get mad at me. Was definitely I don't want to say. I'll say a piggyback off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
It was announced that same summer, right before Agents premiered. And initially, I was like, this sounds like a ripoff, whatever. But then I thought, like, hey, this could be. And it was, I think it was rumored to be like a prequel to the Dark Knight trilogy, which I don't think anybody wanted to see. But now I was like, oh, this could be really dark and gritty, This could be really good, really fun. And then I saw the first trailer, and me and Corey's first reaction was none of these male leads are American. They are almost all British. And Penguin and Riddler look exactly the same. Like, they look like the same guy. And Alex said this is the best thing to happen to me. That's what you said when you saw this trailer, right? When you saw the Gotham trailer.
I don't know. But
he's just so serious. I was like, no, I did not. But no, I mean,
I was in the mindset that I don't think this really needed to, like, no one was, you know, begging for this show.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't mind it. I actually thought the trailer sold it a lot worse than the actual show was. Like, it looked really cheesy, but it had quite a nice dark edge, and I watched it. So I don't know. We'll see.
My fear was watching it. They had a premise for a show called, I called it Clean Cop, Dirty Streets, was the working title before. They were like, hey, man, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., man, let's do that. We don't have the budget for Batman, but we can do kind of like a minimalistic comic book TV show. And they're like, okay, cool, let's name it Gotham. I don't know about you, Professor Gordon is the least interesting character. Like, he's my Jimmy Olsen for the Superman universe. Like, I don't care at all. Fuck out of here. If he's not played by Gary Oldman, I don't care.
This show should definitely, like, stop focusing on him immediately and start focusing on Penguin, because like I feel like this show is like the camera's pointing in the wrong direction. Like, this show wants to be about Gotham and the rise of the police department and like Gordon and stuff. But this show would be so much better if it was the rise of Penguin to power, like his whole thing. He's a cool character, and this whole like struggle to overthrow the crime bosses, like kind of weeding his way up through and pitting them against each other. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But like, we know about the GCPD and Gotham and like Gordon and stuff. Let's see Penguin. Let's see how he gets to where he's at.
All right. So yeah. So watching the show, and I'm gonna say something. It's gonna be a Stokes moment. I don't understand why people say, "Oh, it's a pilot. You should give it a break." No. You know why you shouldn't give a pilot a break?
Because then you get shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
A, yeah, you give shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. B, most of the time, you ship a pilot around. Your pilot is supposed to be your A game, you know? You put your most thought into the pilot, and here it's just like, this is terrible. This is almost like a fan film as opposed to an actual TV show. I know you guys felt differently.
Yeah, no, I'd have to say that you're about right. To me,
Mm.
it's like a good fan film, kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah. Oh, yeah. If this was on YouTube,
Yeah.
you know, I'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
this ain't bad.
Yeah, but like as a TV show, it doesn't do all that great. And I'll further explain that after you're done talking. But that's I feel kind of the same way.
All right.
So, but
I
yeah.
wanted almost the Shield or like a really good cop show on top of a Gotham mythology, and what I got was like worse than Law and Order on top of the worst of the Gotham mythology. I felt like this is like Law and Order babies or something like that.
Oh, man. No, I'll be honest. Like, what Gotham? I mean, basically what I said earlier is that it's not bad stuff, but it's not good stuff either. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, it's like stuff that a fan could make, and a really dedicated and cool fan. But like, I mean, to be honest, this is Fox. I mean, shouldn't they have? Well, then again, it is
Hello?
Fox. But I mean, hello, you there? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah, like, I mean, it should have some sort of quality, even if it. All right. I was just saying that to be honest, there's nothing that stood out in Gotham. That was my big problem. Like, none of it was bad stuff per se, but just, I mean, if I'm gonna watch a show, something has to be not different, but like something has to be
Good. It's
have its own-
standoutish.
Yeah. And to me, the only thing that was like, good to me was the Penguin. I thought that it
Yeah.
was quite interesting. And
Gobblecock.
yeah, that guy. I mean, I thought that was pretty cool, but
Doesn't
besides
he? You
that,
know, he looks like. Oh my god.
Who?
Looks like fucking William. But more
You know what,
stylish.
Corey? You know what? Like, I'll be a big man here, and I'll swallow my pride a bit, and I will agree with you that I think having watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I watched Gotham again last night. Gotham needs to do a lot to be considered.
Decent.
Yeah, a good show.
Watchable.
I liked it. I think I'm going to admit I probably liked it just because I like that kind of like dark, grungy DC stuff. And that's probably a bit materialistic, superficial of me, rather. But you're right. Like, Penguin was the only time that I was really like properly interested were the times when Penguin was on screen and like the stuff that he was getting on
Okay,
with.
let's put a pin in that. Talk about the characters later. Basically, the story was that Bruce Wayne's parents, spoiler alert, get murdered.
That should not have been the first.
I did
story.
that ironically. Oh, I thought you said you were about to say that shouldn't be a spoiler. Like,
No,
what?
no, I mean like, no, I mean that shouldn't have been. I remember reading an article like Bruce Wayne's parents to be the first story in Gotham. I was like, oh god, Bruce Wayne's going to be in this. No,
Did you read that on FlickerMyth.com, the best place for your comic movie news?
really? You're going to plug that? No, I can't remember where I read it, but I was like, yeah, this they should do something original. Jesus Christ. You think we need another DC property that starts with the death of the Wayne parents? Really?
That's how the Flash show starts too. Yeah, I
That'd
don't
be
know,
so
man.
funny.
Like, I don't want to shit on it, and I'm not saying you, Alex, but I feel like people only like this show, and I said this about our Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it's Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and it's DC's Gotham. If you rename this Clean Cop, Dirty Streets, nobody would give a fuck, you know?
I wholeheartedly admit that like the only reason why I was slightly interested was
Let's be honest. The only reason anybody's watching this because it's called Gotham. Let's not kid
Yeah.
ourselves. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with watching it because it's called Gotham. And I like, okay, so like I said, it's Bruce Wayne's parents. Is like this whole intrigue, this this or that. And there's a story here, but basically it's Gordon trying to figure out who murdered Bruce Wayne's parents. And immediately what stood out to me as bad, well, not bad, but missed opportunity. We're not given. This could have been different from Batman Begins and Batman. We could have gotten a personal attachment to Peter's. No, they did that in Batman Begins. You get a personal attachment to Peter. Bruce. I keep saying Peter. Jesus, because Amazing Spider-Man. Jesus, Bruce Wayne's parents.
I thought you were talking about like Peter Quill then for a second.
Jesus, don't be a superhero. Your parents will be dead or dicks. Basically, fuck. You should have grown a personal attachment.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel anything when they died because I've seen it before, and then I guess my problem. And you said it's gritty. My problem is this is just every cop drama, maybe even toned down. There's nothing really like gruesome about it. Like there's a killing at the end of the episode that doesn't make any sense. There's no context. There's no reason it should have happened. And he cuts the guy, and it looks like strawberry jam. Like, on a rock.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, this not blood, whatever. And immediately, I think we all can agree. Like, there's some things we all can agree on. We can get on stuff we don't agree on. We might, dissent from. We all agree that I think this show's biggest flaw is that it tries way too hard to be a Gotham TV show instead of just being a good show and then being,
the Enigma stuff was so on the nose and that annoyed me. But then when it's like, oh, I'm Ivy, I was like, fuck right off.
Yeah,
like,
what?
Really, we really need at this point in the show, even in this show at all, shots of a little girl, a little ginger girl tending to plants who's called Ivy.
I hate to say this. This isn't even as good as Smallville. Like, how can I say that? Like, you watch Smallville and they gradually introduce characters that are important to the mythology. They don't just rush it out.
And this one just poured them all in.
And I guess they did it for the trailer. And in that regard, I respect that because you do need to sell this. But why does Ivy have to be so young? Why do I care about this character? What is she possibly doing that's so compelling at 5 years old?
Yeah, exactly. Same with that Catwoman thing. Like, really, like, what could this character be doing at this point in their life that would make this character an interesting character for me to follow?
Yeah, exactly. And I feel the same way about Bruce Wayne. And yeah, it's like,
God, if they'd done like, I want like a year one show, like Bruce Wayne is only interesting to follow when he like goes through after like his 20s and his boozy years where he gets to like 30 and then goes to train and spends like 10 years training or whatever. That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
but Bruce Wayne when he's 8 years old, not really doing anything.
It's annoying.
Like,
it's annoying. Like, there's nothing interesting about that. I mean, he's 8 years old. It's not like
what's he gonna do? Yeah. There is no foreseeable end to this show.
He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know how to masturbate yet.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
I'd rather watch that than just him doing what?
Well, I'm calling the authorities.
If the actor's listening, you have my number.
If you're lucky, it'll be Gotham PD and to let you get off. But the fundamental there's fundamental things that this show does wrong. Like you said, having a side character is important, be too young. And I think what they should have done is had this murder happen, show the actual corruption of Gotham PD instead of just talking about it. That's my biggest problem. All right, let me give an example. And something like Goodfellas, they don't talk about getting whacked. We see this. We see it vividly. There's a threat. You know what I'm saying? What happens? What has Gotham PD done that was so? We see Gordon and his partner do worse stuff than Gotham PD.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Why am I scared of this? It's fundamentally, it's just fucked. All these actors are really good. If I can say that, they're not good in here, but they're good actors. Jada Pinkett. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, the reason why I feel like you have these good actors and then you have like these awfully delivered lines. It's like, how else would you deliver these?
There were lines that didn't even make fucking sense.
Yeah, like I just didn't even understand half the time. I was just like, okay.
Um,
There's just yeah.
and then there's one line that doesn't make any sense. A character gets accused of murder, and the wife is like, he wouldn't murder anybody. But yet and still, we see him running from the cops, and the first thing he does after he runs is shoot at them. And then he grabs a knife and tries to stab the cop. I'm like, you're muddling up the point.
It is so, like there's that bit who pulls the gun on the cop, and then they disarm him and get him on the floor. Then everyone in the office, even like the interns, the unpaid interns, like the post grads, run up and just start beating the shit out of him. And then later on, they're running across the roofs, and this guy's shooting at them, and they're not doing anything about it. Like
that's what I'm saying, man. It's just like if there's a bolt,
it's all over the place.
If there's a bolt, it wouldn't be leaky. It'd have drills. It'd have holes drilled into it. You know, big gaping holes. So, Jesus, fucking, and I don't want to shit on it. It's not a bad show, but is it a good show? Does it have anything about it? All right, we're gonna talk about Cobblepot. He's in this show for like 5 minutes. He does one cool thing, and then he does something incredibly stupid towards the end of the episode that doesn't even. I'll just fucking spoilers, whatever.
Spoilers.
He kills somebody. Like he jumps in the water and he goes to kill somebody. For what? Why? It's like they wanted to have a big cliffhanger.
Yeah, like okay. So the thing was is that like you said, he jumped in the water, he got out, and he saw this guy like eating a sandwich, and then instead of being, he could have been less of a dickhead and just like took the
asked
sandwich.
for it.
Yeah,
somebody comes out of water.
Yeah.
I was actually watching this on the Fox channel on their website, and the video cut off as he hit the water, and I presume that was the end of the episode. Does something else happen?
Yeah. He got up out the water, and then there was a guy sitting there fishing, and then he gets out the water, he's breathing heavy, and then he kills the guy, cuts him for no reason. Like, the guy wasn't about to call the cops. The guy wasn't going to do anything.
He was just standing there.
He was just standing there, and he scabs him, and then he eats his sandwich. But he
eats
it hard as shit, too.
He eats it from the middle. Like, he doesn't eat it from the end. He eats it from the middle. It was so stupid. It was so stupid.
It was funny because, like, the score was, like, it was going up. You know, like, how loud is it?
Oh, my God. We have to talk about the goddamn score. Yes,
we got to talk about that. But, like, it was rising as he was eating the sandwich, and I couldn't stop.
It was funny. Somebody said, like, after that title card said, Gotham, as if something pivotal had just happened on screen. But somebody read it. I read it as got ham. Because we said. But yeah, let's talk about the score. And this is just amateur hour. The score is so goddamn loud. Like,
I hadn't noticed myself on the website, but it might well have been broadcasted that way.
I watched the TV, and my mom said, "Can you turn it down?" The shit was so loud. You could watch it on mute, and you'd have to turn it down. Like, it's loud as fuck.
It's like they want it to be loud as fuck, so then you're distracted of how generic the score is, basically.
And there's a chase scene in.
There was a score in that?
Exactly.
What?
I
thought it was just background noise.
It's like the show wants to be 7. Like, it wants to be 7. I don't know if y'all saw this with the apartment line being panned by,
I know the movie,
the chase scenes, the atmosphere, and then it wants to be Sin City also. Like, it wants to be really kind of goofy and cartoonish. I'm just like, there's not 2 more contradictory things that I could think of than 7 and Sin City. It doesn't work. It doesn't gel, I mean, did you guys... I mean, you said you liked the tone, Corey. What did you think about the tone? Am I crazy?
Honestly, like, the tone didn't bother me as much, but, like, I 100% hear you when like, this could be, this is Gotham, so you can be, darker and grittier than, most of what other properties would let you do, but then it's like I feel like they take advantage of that,
Yeah, I actually quite liked the tone myself. That was one of the parts that was redeeming to me. Was I liked that it was a little bit rougher and a little bit edgy.
What was so edgy? You're
right, it is a bit mixed up.
What was so edgy about it?
It's edgy because it's really brutal. It's violent.
When was it?
It's a violent, dark show.
When was it more? Okay, I'll offer you this. Was it more violent than an episode of Law and Order?
I haven't seen an episode of Law and Order.
Was it more violent than an episode of fucking what do we like? Sons of Anarchy?
I haven't seen that.
Jesus, man. Corey, you know what I'm saying, right? You understand?
Like, yeah, Law and Order is very.
Yeah, but for something that's like a prime time like comic book TV show, it's not like, you know, like your 9 p.m. like fucking, what is it, South Park calls it, like murder porn TV show that your parents get off on. It's like,
Well, what?
it's still fundamentally a comic book TV show, but it's like has a little bit of edge. Like it's a little bit brutal and it's a little bit dark, and that's kind of what I liked
You
about
want to
it.
tell me something, Alex?
Go on.
About what your parents like to watch?
It's a South Park joke.
Oh, okay.
Well, my parents watch that too.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, not to, like I said, I'm not gonna contradict you here. You like that. I as somebody who watches really dark shows, really gritty shows like Breaking Bad or something like that, that to me is gritty and dark. Like this, I don't think so. Like this is just average TV violence. What do you think, Corey?
Yeah, I don't know what to think about it. It's kind of, I mean, yeah, I'm so lost. Yeah, I'm just.
I
yeah.
thought, and this is something like people like what they like, and I'm honestly trying to figure out. Did you guys like Jada Pickett's Sing's performance? Because I thought it was pretty bad.
No, I quite liked it. I thought it was all right.
It was really hammy.
It was a little bit, yeah, sure.
God,
You know, like
God.
that's another thing I'm talking about. Like it's like hammy and then it's
Gotham,
like dark.
Gotham.
Yeah, it's like, God damn it, Gordon, you gotta do this. You know, it's like you want to pick a tone here, buddy? Like I'm on your side.
Hey, Jada.
This show is like bipolar. Like you ever met somebody who's like really chill one moment and then he's like an asshole the next? That is this show. It's like, and then
there was one thing that Pinkett did that was just kind of like that to me. Like there was a line that could have been like really cool, but then it's just like the way she said it was just like, oh. But like I said, it's that delivery thing. She was just like, oh, me and my boys are watching a scary movie. That's why you hear all the screaming. It's like,
Oh yeah.
Gordon was like, really? It's like, nah, someone was. She was like, someone's stealing money from me, and now we beating his ass. So
somebody's stealing money from me. Shit, yeah, shit. He's in the back,
It's like,
working him over. Shit, yeah. It's like, when did shit turn to Dick Tracy? What the fuck? Yeah. Sure.
What is it with black people in the TV? Bear with me for a second. And like having to speak like that, like she went from just like speaking normally, and then she was like, "No, we've beaten his ass."
It's called.
Oh,
it's
you mean
called
like
being It's called racist ass writers. Like we got a black
exactly.
character.
That's my point. Is why do they always write characters?
We
like
got a
that?
black character who's like not particularly interesting. Let's have him get ghetto for 1 minute.
yeah,
Isn't that
exactly. Like he'd be the most proper man throughout the whole entire series, but at one point he's going to be like, if you do that shit again, boy, just out of nowhere, it's like, what the?
Nah,
It's gonna go
man.
full Soldier Boy in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
other TV shows have done that. Like, and it can be funny. Like when Nick Fury did it in Avengers, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was funny, but that was like different. I don't know. Like I don't know. It's Samuel Jackson.
Probably, yeah, I was about to say it's probably because it's Samuel.
And it wasn't
Jackson.
even that
That's like-
big of a. It wasn't even that big of a niggerish thing. And I'm saying niggardly. I'm sorry, that wasn't.
You know, niggardly is actually a word. I can't
No,
remember.
that's why I meant to say. I meant to say niggardly. Shit.
Man. Oh man.
Oh jeez. It's getting really racy up in here. But yeah, I don't know. And then Riddler was alright, I guess. The supposed Joker that actually made me laugh. That joke kind of made me laugh in there.
I think the people don't seem to understand what the producers were saying when they said that they're going to throw someone in like every week who could be a possible Joker. What people think that, what people seem to think that is like one of these guys is the Joker, as opposed to it just being a character who's like a bit of a nod towards the Joker.
Which
Like-
I think is good because I don't think they need a Joker right now.
Yeah, they don't exactly. The producers said
You don't
they're
deserve
like,
a Joker.
like
You-
every episode of the season they're gonna give like a nod towards the Joker, but they're never gonna like actually have a guy who's definitively the Joker. You know?
I hate to be a negative Nancy, but I'm actually I like that a lot. I don't think they need that right now. Because the show it doesn't. I don't know, man. The way they do things. If this is how they introduce the Joker, I'd be mad as shit. Like, it's doing stand up.
Well, I mean, in the Killing Joke, that's how he starts.
They
Like he starts as a failing stand-up comedian who has to take crime work to make money for his wife, and then he falls into that vat of acid one day doing his crime work.
Hey.
So that was like a huge nod to the Killing Joke, was that stand-up bit.
Oh, okay. Well, shit.
Yeah, I knew that.
I had a feeling it was something, but I just didn't because everybody was like, "This is the Joker." I'm like,
no, it's not. It really isn't.
There's some other points I wanted to make. Alfred was an asshole. I didn't like that at all. Like,
I can see what they were going for, like the idea that Alfred's like really proper and he's grown up with this really rich family and like the whole like don't cry in public, people need to see that you're strong thing. But come on, fucking hug the kid, like tell him it's going to be all right. Jesus.
Your parents told me to look out for you.
I swore to them that I'd protect you.
And I lied. Well, I failed. Whatever. Yeah. Any other points you guys want to make? I'm sure I have more. It's like it's gonna come to me, but
fuck this all. I don't know. I have nothing to say really. I'm just gonna wait until the next episode.
Yeah.
See if it's,
I wouldn't.
I fear that sentence because every time I said that, it doesn't get better. Like I said the same thing with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I didn't quite like
it didn't
that.
get better till the next. We just need to wait till the next season.
Yeah.
And I will say this: Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. pilot was way better than this. I don't know how people.
I agree.
Actually, we can't wait for the next season. It's Fox, so it's going to be canceled.
True.
Yeah, so. I'd laugh so hard. Man, he's Gotham. You don't understand. You don't understand. You just ain't Batman. I don't want a Batman in this show because the Bruce Wayne they got is fucking awful. That kid is terrible. That kid is awful. Yeah. So I don't know. Any other points you're going to make, Alex?
No, I think you've just about covered it, to be honest.
Yeah, nothing really good. Oh man, the best part of this show, it was like, okay, can I list all the cliches in this show?
Go on then.
Okay, morally incorruptible cop in a dirty department. Check.
I thought that was the name of the show.
Cop or good guy beats up henchman and gets knocked out from behind. Check. We already talked about proper black character turning niggardly for comedic effect. Check.
Good guy gets hung up. Partner comes to save him and fails. They both get saved anyway.
In a meat locker.
Yeah, in a meat locker. Literally hung up in a meat locker. That is every single show with the mob ever.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, though. It's so cliche. Like, it's nothing original.
Mm-mm.
And that's all fucking pivotal scene.
Guy gets told to kill someone to prove himself, but he doesn't. He fakes it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Donald Logan's a really good actor too, and I thought he was fucking awful.
Yeah, Donald Logue is, and he was a bit wasted with this character.
Hey, man, Gordon. This show fails because Gordon is, like I said, I already mentioned, he's like the least interesting character in.
Gordon's also like he's gonna have no arc as well because he's already at the end of his arc.
Exactly.
Gordon at the start of this show is exactly the same as Gordon in every single Batman comic.
I feel like you stole that from something I said, but I'll loan it out to you.
I remember you mentioning something like that, but it is a good point. He can't possibly have an arc. If he started off as like a rough around the edges cop, who one day, like maybe his wife gets in an accident or something.
Ethan Hawke in Trading Day.
Yeah, like if his wife maybe he does something wrong with the mob, like he's in deep with the mob, he's a bit corrupt, but then they like fuck with his wife or something, like beat her up or something, and he like realizes that this city needs like a better cop, And
I don't know if this is hindsight, but the show we've made up just now sounds better than what we saw, which is not good to me. I would have had it so that he comes into the agency and he's under Donald Logue's wing, and he's Training Day, but with Gotham, like he's like, okay, we gotta learn how to do it, and then something happens, like he has to murder somebody, right, or he gets framed for something, and he has to ride the line now.
Yeah.
Right now, he's like, he's not going to do anything bad. He's not going to do anything.
He's already like a Jesus figure, Like,
and he's boring. That's not interesting to me, It's not. That like our character is at the end of its arc. Gotham PD. Like we already said we didn't get enough Gotham PD. I don't know, man. It's just funny. Like it just shows set in the 50s or something like that.
I think it's one of those like alternate universes where it's modern, but everything's like like Archer, where it's hard to place what time it is,
Yeah. Hey, Gordon.
Well, I did see a flip phone, so.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it is from the 50s. I just imagine
It's not-
mobster. Hey, Gordon, I hear you've been poking your nose in my business, sir. Yeah. You need to stop asking more questions, eh? That should have been better. Like, just if you're gonna go stupid, go full retard. Don't give me half retard bullshit.
If you're gonna whole ass it, you might as well. No half assing it.
Yeah.
Just whole ass it.
Yeah. So you got people are saying it has potential, and like I said, my problem with that is where did you see that really have potential besides?
Yeah,
besides
it'd need to make some serious improvements to be a good show.
And what did Penguin really do that was that interesting? Really, he did one thing.
It wasn't what he did; it was just his character. Like it was the way. Like I think it was just he was just interesting, engaging. He looked cool. He wore it well. Like the actor seemed comfortable as that character. He didn't like it wasn't like they put like an awkward costume on him and he looked.
Don't
and
call
felt
me
awkward.
Penguin. Oh Jesus!
Like he looked like he was,
Can I say
in that role.
I hate that. Don't call me Penguin.
No, you know what was worse? No, okay. Like at that point, I wasn't even mad at that because that other dude was the even worse actor. When he was like, give it a rest, Penguin. That's like, don't call me that. It's like, ooh,
that guy looks
scary.
so proud. Like, I get to call him Penguin.
Don't
and he's like,
me
ooh,
Penguin.
scary. Like I want to.
Don't call me Danny DeVito. I don't know, man. It's just too many nods. This shit, like, don't. I mean, and you guys like the Batman. I like the Batman universe. That's the thing. I wanted something really gritty, not like gritty for daytime television. Like
Gritty-O's, not shitty-O's.
Yeah, something dark. Something scary. There's no tension here. I don't know. I'm not gonna keep shit on the show.
This is the one time you can encourage property eating their dark and gritty-O's.
Yeah, no, and we talk about that all the time. But that's what I thought it was gonna be. Like this would be a good thing to have next to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm.
I think, and even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is kind of darker than this. What's going on?
What is fucking happening right now?
Right. Oh, I never thought.
What the fuck is going on?
So I give it. If we're gonna rate it, I guess if you're gonna rate it between, fuck it, I'll tune in next week. Gotta see it. Buy it on Blu-ray. I'm like in between a fuck it and a I'll check it next week. Is there like we're gonna have another rating, contractually obligated to watch it because you work for a website called flickermyth.com, one-stop shop for comic book movie news.
I think I'm going to watch it next week just out of like to see if it maintains this level or does anything different. Like just for that reason.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely worth watching the first two of any show, just to see like the pilot and how it builds on that.
Yeah.
So I'll do that with this show and Agents for sure.
I'll give this pilot 2 aggressive sandwich bites.
And that was such an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. moment. Like okay, we got to convey this.
It's like we've gone to like Earth 2 where the DC shows are Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s like the DC shows.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that good. It's the thing I hate. It's like, because me personally, I'm a writer, so I'm like, okay, every time a character does something, it has to make sense. It doesn't make sense for him to kill the guy. And sure, are you hungry? How, if you swim enough that you become hungry, then you should be drowned. How far did you swim that you were actually hungry?
Yeah.
Enough to kill. I hope that sandwich is good. That sandwich looked nasty too. Like sometimes you'll see a sandwich like, hey, you kill somebody for that sandwich. You wouldn't kill somebody for this sandwich.
It was worse than the lettuce sandwich in Amazing Spider-Man 2 that Aunt gave Peter.
It was worse than the Caleb sandwich.
All right, so just to give people some background. All right, my friend Caleb, I'm gonna try to see if I can pull it up. This guy made a sandwich.
We should just make it like the thumbnail.
I did, man. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let me see if I can just pull this shit up before. He made this sandwich with his buddy. Like I call it a fuck it sandwich. You kind of just throw it.
It was like some kind of like manic depressive's life, but a sandwich. Like if your life, if someone's really shitty life could be reflected in a sandwich, like it just didn't care about its own existence,
Like
it'd be that sandwich.
It was like a morbidly obese sandwich. Like, if a sandwich let itself go.
It just made me. It was the kind of sandwich where I couldn't really look at it. I had to look away, like a really beat up disabled person.
Like if you ate this sandwich, they should put this sandwich in front of fat people so like you're not morbidly obese unless you eat this sandwich.
You don't have a food addiction unless you can eat this.
Oh god.
And it was like the worst looking sandwich ever. Like it had the ends of the bread.
That he had that salami, like you get like the big things of salami, but he'd cut it like 2 inches thick, and there was like 2 slices of that, like 4 inches of salami.
Hot dogs, 2 hot dogs.
Oh god, the hot dogs.
Ranch. It was the nastiest shit.
It was like if someone could put my least favorite combination of things in a sandwich, it'd be that sandwich.
I don't like fucking salami off my sandwiches. I mean, I don't like it like with all that nasty ass shit in there.
Man.
Yeah, I give it 2 Caleb.
2 Caleb sandwiches.
Oh Jesus.
Oh,
Yeah. This show's definitely better than that. I have to give it a compliment. I give it 2 Howard the Duck computer designers. That's gross.
gross.
All right, peace everybody.